Synchro decks are one of my favorite summoning mechanics ever, and the fact that we have a competitively viable synchro deck is crazy to me. I've played this deck ever since it first came out, and I've been in love with this deck for the longest, bro. I think Swordsoul is possibly the greatest synchro deck ever created. It's very consistent, very powerful, and it's very easy to actually learn. You know what I mean? So if you wanted to pick up a synchro deck that's actually very cheap, the only expensive card is possibly Baron, then this deck is for you. So I'm going to show you guys my first place Swordsoul deck. Now this is my take on this deck. So I put in some tech cards that I like. You know what I mean? If you don't like them, don't play them. You can play the standard build if you want to, but this is just how I play it, and I like it. I'm going to show you guys the main deck, the extra, and the side. So let's get into it, shall we? Starting off, honorary Swordsoul card, 3 Yugioh. People argue you can run this at either 1 or 2, does not matter, honestly. I like running her at 3 because, like, bro, even if you have 2 of them in your hand, you can still normal summon effect special. You know what I mean? Like, so I think she's too good. Plus, you can always side one out during game 2/3 if you wanted to. You know what I mean? So yeah, I run her at 3. I love her at 3. Favorite monster actually is Yugioh. Second favorite tuner, believe it or not. And the very standard 3 Moye, the best one. 3 Long Yuan, second best, and 2 Taya. Yeah, self-explanatory. This is the ratio, perfect. I saw one build run this at 3. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. I think you only need just 2. And how I have this deck built now, you don't need 3. You know what I mean? So yeah, just 2. We all know what these do. But yeah, like I said, if you want to pick this deck up, you can. It's very cheap. The reprint did the deck justice. So that's it for the Sword Souls. Now for the Tenyis, 3 Ashuna. This is very standard. You run this at 3, never at 2. He's the best Tenyi ever made. 2 Vashuda, 2 Adihara, and the 1 Shitana. I am running the circle build, so the circle build you have to run the 1 Shitana. You could opt to run the fire one if you want to, but I think the water one is definitely way better because, like, no one's gonna target a token anyways, or not affect monster regardless. So yeah, I think this is a good ratio. You could argue 3-3, you know what I mean? But I'm running certain tech cards in this deck, so that's why I'm only running 2 and 2. You know what I mean? You'll see why. You'll see why. But if you don't want to run, like I said in the start of the video, if you do not want to run those tech cards, you can just run the standard Swordsoul build. But this is just my version of the deck. And the tech card, which you probably seen in the thumbnail, the 1 Needhog. I think this card is sick, bro. What he does, he negates special summons. So he can only stop inherit summons. So like if they go poly, he can't stop that. But if they go special Fenrir, you go goodbye. You know what I mean? If they go XQ summon, you go goodbye. This card is sick, dude. So what he does, while he's on the field, if your opponent puts summons a monster, you can tribute a generator or a worm monster to negate the summon and destroy the monster. So a Swordsoul normal typical board is usually Chichao plus either Sinister or Baron, right? So imagine those 2 plus this. You know what I mean? This is a worm. You can dump it off of Taya's effect, search it off of Emergence, and you could dump it off of your Long Yuan's effect. Bring it back with your Shaman and everything. I think this card is very sick. It's very underrated. I've never seen any other build run this card, so I don't know if I could take, you know, it's me only out here, but if so, then cool. If not, whatever. But I think this card is sick. Some people may claim that it's a brick, but it's like, I don't think it's a brick, bro, because like you can get it out of your hand easy, dude. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you will always get back a Long Yuan. This card is in the graveyard for you, off rip. Or I usually foolish it off of a Taya, if I'm being honest, because then I'll search out Summit that we do play in here. So yeah, I like this card. Test it out if you do like it. This is how I got first place, if I'm being honest. So yeah, that. Now for the hand traps, 3 Ash Blossom, and I'm main decking 3 Droll. I think Droll is really good this format. You know what I mean? I think Droll is fantastic. Like everything searches. You go droll on a Cashtira, they freaking lose. They go Cashtira field spell, search the Fenrir. You go droll, they go. I passed my turn, brother. My bad. And yeah, Ash is just a good board wipe. Obviously, Droll isn't good versus Despia, so I side out Droll every time versus Despia because it's like, it's not that good. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's it for the monsters. For the spell cards, very basic. Well, a twist actually, but I am running 3 emergence. This is your roto of the deck. You could run this at 2, but I don't recommend it to run it at 3, bro. It's too good not to run at 3. Run it at 3. This was secret. I'm gonna be honest, but Ultra's fine too. I opted out. So hear me out. This is just my build, but I actually took out Pot of Desires for tactics, for thrusts in the tactics. I took out both Pot of Desires. Now let me explain why. So the best decks right now are Kashtira and Runic. You know what I mean? Kashtira make you banish like 8-7 cards off rip. You know what I mean? Runic makes you banish like 15-20 cards. So imagine you're fighting against Runic. You banish like 10 cards off rip. And then you go Desires, banish 10 more cards to draw 2 cards. And then they make you banish again and again. Nah, I'm not doing it. Like, that's how you deck out fast. Desires is a great card. I'm not saying don't run it. I'm just saying I just prefer Thrust. You know what I mean? Anything like Talents is like one of the best spell cards this format so far. It's too good. So the fact that I can switch out any spell and trap card, including this, it's broken, bro. It's broken, dude. Like, so yeah, I like Thrust. If you can't afford Thrust, because I get it, it's expensive, just play Desires. But for me, I don't really miss Desires. You know what I mean? You don't have to play Desires. You don't. It's good to have, don't get me wrong, but it's not a needed thing. And the last spell cards I am running are Double Circle. I think this card's too good. It's good enough to run at 3, but I think 3 is too much. Double Circle and the 1 Summit. You run the 1 Summit because of the Needhog mainly. I mean, this card is seeing play again regardless, but like, it's even better for Needhog because you could just bring it back. You know what I mean? Usually what I do, I pitch it with the Long Yuang, make a Synchro Summon, activate Swordsoul, this, and then just bring back a Worm. Then I just bring back Needhog. Or usually I go Boxia effect. Sorry, I summon Taya. I go Taya effect. Summon Boxia. Boxia Chainlink 1, Taya Chainlink 2. Taya dumps the freaking Long Yuang. Sorry, the Needhog to the graveyard. And then Boxia spends, and then I go Summit, bring back the freaking Needhog. You know what I mean? Like, you could do a lot of stuff. Like, I think this card's sick. Last cards I am running are the trap cards. Is just 3 Imperm and the 1 Blackout. It's just, you know, you've always run Imperm in this deck at 3 regardless. So just the fact that it's way better this format is just, you know what I mean? Like, it just makes the deck way like more consistent. And now that we don't run Desires, you don't have to worry about banishing Blackout. Although I really, really do want to try out running Gold Sark and running Blackout at 2. You know what I mean? Because I think Gold Sark is sick, dude. Because you go normal summon Moye effect, reveal something, summon a token. They go Imperm. You go, all right, cool. You Gold Sark, and then you banish your Blackout. Blackout effect, you get a token anyways, Synchro Summon. So I might experiment with a Gold Sark. I might, honest to God, try that, just because that sounds sick. Plus, I low-key do want to play Blackout at 2 again, bro. I think this card is too good just to play it at 1. You know what I mean? You just pop, pass, you know? That's it for the main deck. I'm going to show you guys the extra deck now. Starting off with the nice tokens, bro. I love these. I got the Nib token in case I do get nibbed. Swordsoul token number 1, token number 2, token number 3, and token number 4. These tokens are sick, dude. I love this deck so much. You know I had to get the appropriate tokens for them. This is for the Long Yuan. This is for the Taya. This is for the Moye. And this is for the Blackout. And then obviously Nib because we're going to get nibbed because we don't respect nibbed anymore. That's it. That's it. Anyway, for that extra deck, I'm running 310 Monk of Tenyi. Sorry, I like this at 3. You can get away with running this at 2 if you want to, but I feel like with the grind game, you want to run this at 3. I think having this at 3 is a mandatory must. And the one Shaman, bring stuff back. Pretty good now with the Needhog. Tech I am running in here, which I will explain why, so don't judge it too much. I am running the one Master. Now, I'm running him for a few reasons. I took out Chow Fang because, you know, not everyone's running Nib anymore, bro. I'm just being honest. Not everyone's running, like, Nib is good, respect Nib, but not everyone's running Nib anymore because you mainly ran Nib for the top deck, which is Kashtira currently. And most Kashtira players are playing around Nib regardless, so your Nib is usually dead or it's just not here anymore. So I decided to take out Chow Fang for this, right? He takes 1 Link monster and 2 other monsters, right? He is your only generic Link monster, right? So the fact that I am literally main decking talents is crazy. I have a Monk on field. I go talents, I take your monster, I link away with the Monk, your monster, one more monster, I summon this. You know what I mean? I think he's really, really good this format. He utilizes talents very well, and his effect is really good. He blows up cards in the field, or monsters in the field. I think it's cards or monsters. Destroy. Okay, yeah, he blows up monsters. So he blows up the Arise Heart. He blows up the big board and field that you can't get rid of. You know what I mean? And he can't die by card effect, or he can't die by battle by effect monster. So he just sits there just like, yeah, anyways, you know? So yeah, I run him. I think he's really cool. Now for the synchros, obviously the Yazi and the 2 Boxia, the only Yang Zings you do run. Which I kind of want to play Yang Zings again, if I'm being honest. I think that deck is sick. Yeah, just run these. These are really good. Boxia, best card, 1 of the 2. Never won. The 2 Chi-Xiao. I think Chi-Xiao is really good. Have to run at 2. It has to be at 2. It has to. It's too good not to run. So 2 of those. The 1 Draco Berserker. I sold mine, but then my other one came in the mail. So yeah, woo, this card's really good. It's seeing a lot more play now, so really happy. Last 8 is the 1 Dragite. This is actually very good versus Runix. Believe it or not, if you actually side or main deck Nib, you can use its bounce effect, which, if you didn't know, this bounce effect does not target. So do with that information with what you will. But yeah, if you have Nibs in the main or side, you summon this, you can use this to maybe hit a Nib and then bounce a card on field, brother. So keep that in mind. So yeah. For the 10s, the 1 Sinister, the 1 Xingying, and the 1 Baron, these are mandatory, especially Baron. I've been summoning a lot more Xingying lately. I think Xingying is really solid. It's how you use this deck, you know what I mean? But that is it for the extra. Now for the side deck. The side deck I've been playing around with it a lot. And this is what I got. This is how I like to play it. So if you see a certain card in here, a certain choice, don't judge it too hard. Just let me explain why I play it. So 3 Incarnate, obviously. I mean, don't really explain this card too much. I think this card is really good. If you don't want to play this card, you could play a Kaiju. But I think Incarnate is just way better because, like, you know, Swordsoul is the kind of deck that makes your opponent activate stuff because of your Tenyi engine, you know? They have like a big board of stuff, right? I go activate Ashuna from my hand as a cost to reveal him to summon. They go Baron Negate. I go, all right, now I'm gonna spend the Moye effect reveal. They go something negate, destroy it, you know? Then I go Incarnate, tribute them. You know what I mean? Like, I think Incarnate is very, very good. I think more decks should start actually siding this. I think it's really good to have. 3 Incarnate. For back row, 2 Cosmic Cyclone and the 1 Duster. Duster is searchable off of Thrust, so I think Duster's really good in the side deck. You could main it if you want to, but I don't really like maining Duster like that. I might start doing it if back row decks really become a problem, but the main decks you got to worry about nowadays are like Runic and Kashtira. Labyrinth is still running around too, but that's why you side these. Plus, my opinion, if you play your Tenyi engine correctly, you can play past a lot of back rows. Like if they have like a skill drain, you can bounce it back with the Vashuda. if they have anti-spell, shoot. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much stuff you can do. But yeah, I like siding these. I might side a third Cosmic Cyclone, but I opted to not actually side Lightning Storm because I thought Cyclone was better versus Runic because they go Field Spell, you go Cosmic, and they just cry right after. So everything's trap cards now. So obviously 3 evenly. I was siding Lancia, but I think evenly is way better, in my opinion. Plus, I'm siding other cards too. Yeah, I mean, just evenly is the best card in the format. Best trap in the format easily. 3 Anti-Spell. Anti-Spell is really good. Who would have thought? It's very good versus Kashtira also. Yugioh Anti-Spell, they slow down tremendously. And the fact that I main deck Droll too, my matchups between Kashtira are usually very, very well. You know what I mean? But again, you have to know how to play. You have to know what to hit and when to activate stuff. But you just go turn 1, flip this up. They're just like, frick. You know what I mean? Like So yeah, 3 of those. The last cards I am siding 3 Rivalry. Now Rivalry has a bittersweet thing with the Swordsoul community. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it. People misunderstand this card in my opinion. They play this card to interrupt your opponent, right? I play this card to keep my guys safe. Now, what I mean by that is every Swordsoul player knows this, and they know they make a big board of Chi with Sinister with the blackout face down. You're just like, I'm golden. And then what happens? You get Lava Golems. You get Kaiju'd. This prevents those. They can't Lava Golem you. They can't Kaiju you. They can't even summon Divine Incarnate if they have a monster on field, bro. You know what I mean? They can't do it because of Rivalry. So I think Rivalry is very, very, very good in defending your own stuff. So if you don't want to play it to mess up the meta, play it to defend your big boards. Because I'm telling you, the last game I won at my locals, I made a Sinister and I made Sinister and I made the Chi with the Needhog on field. I flipped up the Rivalry and he just scooped because he said, "Dang, I have a Lava Golem, but I can't summon it to your field, and I can't get rid of it." I'm just like, you know what I mean? So I think Rivalry is still very, very, very good in the side deck. You can main it if you want to. Main it. It doesn't matter, but just I think it's good to play because you just cancel out some of your opponent's side deck cards. And like everyone is siding a Kaiju again. You know what I mean? But that is it for my Swordsoul deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm at like 17 subscribers now. I think 15, 16. So either way, thank you so much for the subs. If you're not following me on my gaming channel, please go follow me there. Go sub there. If you like horror games, I make them funny. I'm close to 2K subs there, so if you want to go help me out, that's cool. But if not, only like Yu-Gi-Oh, stay here. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to possibly upload some duels also, so yeah, just stay frosty. See you later.